wondered to myself whether it wasn't a very good idea to be flying on a Qantas plane at about midday yesterday by the time Alan Joyce finished his statements and his interviews, and we find that there are 5,000 odd jobs going from the business. Do you think the pilots might have been a bit distracted? Surely not. And of course they would have been incredibly professional, as well as the baggage handlers. Let's hope that was the case for you. As you may know, many Qantas employees live in our region, not just in the Southern Highlands, but in the northern suburbs. And Nick McIntosh is the acting secretary of the TWU's Wollongong branch and joins us now. G'day, Nick. How are you going?
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
What was yesterday afternoon like for you? Were you overwhelmed with your members calling?
Look, it's pretty devastating, Nick. I don't. Because Sydney Airport doesn't come under the Wollongong sub-branch, I don't actually personally look after any members, but I was certainly speaking with our officials who do look after our members in Sydney, hundreds of who live in the Illawarra, and they just said it was just devastating. The mood in the meal rooms and the baggage area, not knowing whether you're going to lose your job, your mate is. I mean, 1 in 6 people are going to lose their jobs, so there's a good chance you or some of your mates are going to lose them, and that's a pretty horrible feeling.
Any idea how the process is going to play out? I know they've looked at voluntary redundancies in areas like customer service right at the airport. And they're saying, people, it's like the supermarket, people are preferring to do their own check-ins. But is everyone else going to be just told, like you're going, or is there going to be some choice in the matter?
I think we'll know more after this morning's meetings. I know that Mr. Joyce is meeting with all the national union leadership this morning. So with any luck, we'll know a little bit more about where job cuts are coming and how that will unfold. If I was to take a guess, I would say that there probably would be a voluntary redundancy first. But obviously, depending on how many jobs go and how many people will take that, then you're down to what you don't want to do, which is the forced redundancy option.
Graham Richardson, in one of his opinion columns, said today that 5,000 employees is all very well, but what would make all the difference is if they had 5,001, that one being Alan Joyce himself. Should he have resigned?
Nick, I think I've been outspoken on your show in the past, tell you my feelings about Alan Joyce. I mean, the facts speak for themselves, don't they? The shares are at the lowest point ever. He's never paid a dividend. It's a record loss. He seems to keep having record loss after record loss. It's down to junk status.
Well, he told 7:30 that it was profitable for most of his tenure so far. It's just this last couple of years that have been the problem.
Well, it's been a hell of a problem. I think it's very hard to say anyone at the top have a record like that and then to just keep. I mean, don't forget, he's already made a couple of thousand people or more possibly redundant in the last couple of years. So this 5,000 just adds to that. I think there's no doubt he's got to go before any real improvements are made to this company, because with a track record like he's had over the past 5 or 6 years, I just can't understand how he's still there, to be honest with you. Okay.
What do you think are his greatest mistakes he's made as the chief executive?
Well, look, I'm probably not as qualified to speak on all sorts of economic and which planes he should have bought and issues like that, but what I can say is this. If you go and declare war on your workforce and on the unions like he did certainly in 2011, then that just leaves so much bad blood everywhere. I mean, it just means you find it very, very difficult to work with him, to get anything productive out of him. I mean, if he'd said 3-4 years ago, look, this is what we need to do, this is the reality, I want to sit down with unions and I want to have a proper consultation, we could have worked a lot of these issues out, I'm sure. Not everything. There are some structural issues there that are beyond the control of any worker or any union. But I think when you declare open war on your workforce, it just leaves so much bad blood everywhere, and everyone becomes so suspicious of everything, and there's no consultation, and that just kills the morale of the business, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, Nick McIntosh, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick McIntosh is the acting secretary of the TWU's Wollongong sub-branch. 97.3 ABC Illawarra.